Laurence Llewelyn-Bowen once took a brutal swipe at Meghan Markle and claimed that she was far too dull to work with. The interior designer will appear in the new series of BBC Two's Pilgrimage tonight. The show will see a group of celebrities, all with different religious and faith beliefs, embark on a long journey. Over the course of 15 days, the pilgrims will follow in the footsteps of the 6th-century Irish monk, St. Columba, who was credited with spreading Christianity across Scotland. Speaking ahead of the journey, Laurence said, "I think pilgrimage is about clearing out your mental closet by physical exertion and by spiritual conversation with yourself, or, if you believe it, then conversation with your God. I know I come across as all sort of flouncy and floppy and rather cavalier, but I am capable of existing in the real world. However, I don't think I've walked so far not wearing Cuban heels." Laurence has made a name for himself as a flamboyant television personality, a career that has not been without controversy. He previously caused a stir after commenting on potentially working with Meghan Markle. In 2019, Meghan and her husband Prince Harry moved out of Kensington Palace and into the recently refurbished Frogmore Cottage. They chose Vicky Ward to decorate their new home. When asked about their choice, Laurence hit out at the Duchess of Sussex. Speaking to News Corp in 2019, he said, "Meghan is far too dull, she'd run screaming from me." Laurence described the Duchess' taste as very mainstream. Later that year, the designer appeared on Loose Women, during which he was asked why he said Meghan's taste was dull. But rather than explain his comments, he insulted Meghan again. Laurence said, "Now I would like to spring to my own defense. I was trying to break it to everyone gently that I don't want to design Frogmore Cottage. She's a lovely lady, but I don't want to. I think she has a strong sense of her own style, but it's a bit beige for me." While Laurence is unlikely to work with the Sussexes, he is open to taking on one particular royal client. In his interview with News Corp, the star explained, "My only hope for a proper, decent royal commission is when we get a Queen Camilla. She's just over the garden fence and I'm very much hoping for a royal command." Laurence lives in a 17th-century country retreat in the Cotswolds where one of his neighbors is Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall. But his royal connections don't end there. In a 2018 interview with the Daily Mail, he revealed that he had designed the floors at Buckingham Palace, but that Prince Philip disliked his work. The designer explained, "I did some flooring at Buckingham Palace years and years ago, before I was famous, and Prince Philip hated it." Royally kind. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have always been proponents of helping their fellow man. Charity has played a huge part in their relationship, both while they were senior members of the British royal family and since they announced their decision to step back in January 2020. Harry organized the first-ever Invictus Games in 2014, 2 years before he and the Suit Salah met, with the goal of raising money to support wounded, injured or sick veterans while also allowing them to compete in various Paralympic-style sporting events. In addition to raising funds, the Duke of Sussex hoped the Games would inspire veterans and non-veterans alike as it did him. He continued to run the charity with Markle by his side while they were dating and after their 2018 wedding. The 2020 Invictus Games were postponed due to COVID-19. But the Duke said during a May webinar that the spirit of the Games was alive and well. "We've obviously not in The Hague, but I'm so pleased we have been able to organize this virtual gathering when the Games would have taken place themselves," he said. "This conversation is all about sharing the Invictus spirit, and it is even more relevant now as we are having to address new challenges and adapt our lives." The couple even made their wedding day about charity, selecting 7 organizations to give back to simply because they represent a range of issues that they are passionate about, according to the royal family's website. Those charities included the Children's HIV Association, Chiva, Crisis, Mina Mahila Foundation, Scotty's Little Soldiers, Street Games, Surfers Against Sewage and the Wilderness Foundation UK.